record to this computer. Recording. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for being on the call tonight. It's going to be a really fast-paced half an hour, maybe a little longer than that, because there's a lot I would love to cover tonight, just given that we are in this awkward situation where we are kind of homebound, and some of you already mentioned that it's a blessing in disguise because we suddenly have time for stuff that we didn't have time before. And we had a lovely chat with Di this afternoon, and it's just all about looking at our businesses from a different perspective. And I strongly urge, don't look at the bad in this whole situation, but turn it around and think about all the good things that actually happened for us, because we are kind of homebound. We all have that chance to reset our businesses again. How cool is that? Think about the fact that in 2 months' time, we will come out of this whole thing with a brand new perspective on our businesses. And I don't think that we could have gotten a bigger gift than having that chance to rethink and to be able to say, if I would start my business right now with the knowledge that I have today, what would I do differently? I think it's a brilliant way to look at things. So because of that, there's a lot that we could talk about, but I was thinking one of the struggles that I'm hearing from, especially those of you who have little people around and suddenly having to work from home, is how do I actually fit everything in the day? And if you have a planner, don't forget that you have 7 steps to follow. And if you have that planner with you, then you just simply open it to the first page and you'll have all the 7 steps with descriptions, and just reset, look at these steps and work yourself through the steps. But what we are going to focus on tonight is that step number 6, because it's all about that weekly rhythm and how to create a plan in this craziness of having a whole family at home and still having to have things done. And I know some of you have no kids at home and this will not be as big of an issue, but when you want to get things done, it is always an issue on how you can create a weekly rhythm that helps you get where you want to go. So I had a big question from some of you, and wow, let's put it this way, this is the surprise. I had a request to create a family planner for the wall, so that you can actually put it up and get the whole family involved in planning the week. And especially when you have dads at home who take care of the kids on some level, then it's just a great way to have access to the family rhythm on a wall. So I created a family planner with Kirsten and a couple of other gorgeous girls like Tiana, because she's been she's had her fingers into this project too, and it was all about creating something that can be laminated and it can go up on the wall. And it's already in End Planner's shop, but for those of you who are on the call tonight, I would love to gift this planner to all of you. So you will get a link with a code. You'll just have to jump online and purchase it through the shop the normal way. Only with the code that you will get after tonight, you will be able to get it for free. It's my way of saying thank you. Yes, Joe? Unmute. Joe, you have to unmute yourself because we can't hear you.
Okay. Yes. You know the diagram you had on the screen before, is that in the normal Ant Planner?
Yes, but it's not in a form of a diagram, it's in form of words.
Oh.
at the front.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry, I've got it. Yep. Sorry.
It's okay, Joe, not a problem. It's a funny thing when you have a planner and you still discover new features. So going back to the planner, I literally would love to give this planner to all of you who are on the call, because I think it will be a good addition to what you already do. So if your question is, should I use a family planner now or my weekly end planner? My answer is both. Why? Because virtually the two are totally different and their functions are different. And as much as you would think that you can fit one in one everything, this is the situation where probably you can't, just because especially the family planner is meant to service more than one person, more than you. So let's go first with, oh, by the way, ta-da, meet the weekly family planner. This is pretty much what you will be able to download as a PDF and print it as big as you like. It's optimized for A3, just because, oh, there's Diana's filled-in version, if you can see her. But virtually you will be able to download this for free, and just go into Officeworks, laminate it if you can't do it at home, and start playing with it and make the most of it. It's just a great way. So what I wanted to incorporate in this were the little things that I see already becoming an issue, like exercise, or the dots to drink water. I found that since I'm home and I'm not out and about, I drink less. Anyone with me on that? It's really a weird thing that's happening to us. We just get wrapped up in our small everyday life issues and problems, and we forget the all essential things that we otherwise do really well. I still wanted to keep the focus of the day, because I find that's really important, especially when you have a family on the go, in one household, under one roof all the time. And of course, at the bottom, there's a how did we feel today? And please feel free to be playful with it. If you have little ones, get them to draw in that bit. If it's just you, then feel free to put yourself a smiley face or a not smiley face if that's the situation, and don't be afraid to be honest with yourself when it comes to that. And I thought the meal planner at the bottom would help, just to stay on top of that daily big question. I'm not sure about your household, but in our household it starts around 12 o'clock, and the question is, what do we eat today? And it just drives me bonkers. I mean, seriously. Even though today I was lucky, my two teenagers cooked dinner. Yay! That's so cool. You have no idea. But they did. And it was brilliant. We had tacos. How cool is that? So, this is pretty much the family planner, and I hope that it will serve all of you well. Now, when you look at your regular weekly end planner, because in the end, that's our main tool when it comes to keeping on top of everything and staying on target. Things that you need to remember again is use your colors, don't change them, know your numbers, know exactly how many hours you have to invest in your business in order to stay afloat. Now, this is more than ever, more important than ever, because if you don't know your numbers, you will struggle with finding the right amount of time to grow your business and not just go backwards within your business, especially now that distraction is a huge issue when you have little people or a whole family around you. You don't have to have little people to be distracted, trust me. Then, of course, don't forget to start with your unmovable things, plan ahead, and of course, set your goals. Don't forget that the goal setting section is there for a reason, and without that, you can't really move forward. It's probably even more important now than ever before to be vigilant about staying on top of planning and goals. And I thought I'll give you a quick example on how would I build up my weekly view. And I always start with my unmovable objects, which is pretty much my pink. That's my family, and it's structuring pretty much the whole week. And as you can see, normally I would have probably a tiny little half an hour line in there because everyone would run and everyone would do different things.
You dropped out then, Dom.
Sorry?
Your microphone dropped out there for a second.
Okay, am I back?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I start with my unmovable objects, just like I suggest to everyone, which means breakfast, before things like meditation, exercise, yoga, walks, whatever you might want to do, then lunch and dinner. And this probably structures most of our lives. And then, of course, on the next step, I add all the time blocks that need to fit in my planner. As you know, some of you already know that yellow is usually my networking. They are usually pre-booked in my regular planner. So and then of course I add as many hours as I need of work, which is my end planner's business. And then of course you start filling it in. As you probably know, I strongly suggest don't have to-do lists squashed in the little squares. I use not sure if you can see it if you have me somewhere on the screen, but I use sticky notes, and I do stick the sticky notes with my to-do lists on the side, and I tend to allocate time blocks to my to-do lists for those of you who don't know it. But that's pretty much how I build up the whole week. And then of course the last step before I consider it finished is I do put my goals at the bottom, because I find that that's one of the most important drivers when it comes to getting things done. So I hope this helps a little bit with getting you in the mindset of doing the plan. And don't forget to actually block in some time to do your planning, to physically sit down and work out what needs to happen during the week, because it's quite helpful when you do it. And now probably it's even more important than ever, because we do get distracted by social media, emails, phone calls. Everyone tries to connect with us, and I'm not sure about about you, but I haven't had this many conversations on the phone or on a Zoom call in a long time. So which is great, it's fantastic, it's fabulous, it's building our businesses, but on the other hand, it can be a huge distraction, especially when you know that you still have to physically do things for your business to grow and survive this period of time. So how can a family planner help, you might ask? How is it different? And one of the things that I found, and we were chatting with Kirsten today, is that the family planner is really designed to be in the center of the household. And even though you will follow very similar steps to get it set up properly, only time will tell exactly what works best for your family. I still suggest that to use color coding. I still suggest to create a plan and follow that plan. You will find that after a couple of weeks, you will see your rhythm for the week, which means that some of the things you won't even remove from the planner when you redraw it for next week. And of course, it creates that amazing routine for the family and for our children. And sometimes that routine is great, not just for our children, but for our own personal sanity too, because I find that we've been kind of in holiday mode for the past 2 weeks, and if I'm not careful, we're going to stay in holiday mode for the next 2 months, which is not necessarily a good thing when it comes to building a business. Also, if you have teenage or school-age children, school still goes back, so you will have to find some sort of rhythm that gets the whole family into that mindset that some of us still work from home, even if it is from home. And of course, the kids still have to go to school, and the younglings still have to do their bits that come from kinder, like, I don't know, art and creative stuff and exercise and so on. So it's really important to find our rhythm. Now, one of the things that I noticed with the few examples that I had a chance to look at was that there's a lot of legends that are all about the family members in the family. I would love to make you think a little bit differently, even from when it comes to your weekly family planner. Instead of having a color for dad, a color for mom, a color for one child, second child, third child, and so on, I would really, really love you to look at things from a different perspective, and just maybe create a similar type of legend that you would create in your normal planner. What that means, start with writing down everything that pops into your mind that would happen during the week. Things like fun, cleaning, morning routine, evening routine, lunch, business, work, dinner, yoga, walks, study time, and so on. You might have still have appointments and so on. So you just start writing the big categories down on a piece of paper. Then you do what you usually do with a legend and start grouping these into smaller, into bigger categories, like yoga, walks, runs. Easily can move into a category called exercise. I'm not sure who's unmuted. Judith. So just try to build bigger categories, because in the end, when it comes to the planner, it's still the best is to use time blocks like you would use time blocks in your planner. So for example, if you look at this example, it's a really interesting one, because you will see family time and Noah's time overlapping all the time, which it would be so much easier to actually have little time blocks that are called family time, and in that you can add stickers or little drawings for in this situation, because I know that Noah is quite young, so he might not be able to read, but use some sort of sign language for the kids to know what they are meant to be doing in those time blocks. Why? Because it becomes very visual, and I won't be able to show it to you because this whole planner is so brand new that we didn't have time to actually create an ideal planner, but I will work on it tomorrow, and I will send you an example of what I'm thinking about, and just to give you an idea on how to use the planner at its best, and just as a guideline, but you can do a lot with it. So for example, and from here you can go to even more concise categories. So this might not be exactly you, so please don't be afraid to change it, to expand it, to have more colors, to have less colors. It has to apply to who you are and what your household looks like, but it's definitely a great way to actually put it in on a piece of paper and see it as a whole with the whole family, and it will actually give you a very visual image of what your week looks like. And also it makes it so much easier to keep on top of tasks, to get our family to work with us, and not end up in that position where we are doing everything on our own. Because I guess the key thing that we can do and we should be doing right now, especially as moms in the household, is delegate. Do you know that word? Delegate? We hear it so much in our businesses, but this little word means so much more when it comes to our family. And yes, there's a list of tasks, and everyone can pick and choose what they prefer to do. But it's just a great way to involve the family more into what needs to happen, whether that's cleaning, whether that's cooking, or just packing away. There's a lot of things that even the youngest members of our families can help us with, and it's a great way to build habits. I mean, how cool is that? When did you have a chance to actually no, let's rephrase. When did we have a chance to involve our families in all the things that are happening around the house, and we have a very good excuse, right? Because we do. We are all living under one roof 24/7 very soon. So it's a great excuse to actually work out some good strategies around how you want your family dynamics to change. How do you want to relate to your children? How do you want your children to relate to you? How do you want your whole family to relate to you? Of course, when you don't have anyone else but yourself, then it's a great way to rethink how you want to do things. It's a great way to find your own rhythm, to include all those things that are on your wish list, you know. When you're thinking about, oh, it would be nice to do meditation. Great. Here's your chance to restructure and redraw what you do during the week, and just look at things from a different perspective. Just think about this whole situation as a big reset. We've hit the reset button, and because we've hit the reset button, now we are entitled to reset things. So why not? Let's just try and do as much as possible, and create these amazing new dynamics within the family. And I mean, it's just a fantastic way to do it. And this is another example with uh, Kirsten's family, and she's been playing with it on how to make it work the best possible way. And as you can see, Kirsten still works. And I know some of you on the call like Di is still working, so she still has a full-time job. Yay. And I'm not sure about the rest of you, but I'm pretty sure that some of you still work because you still qualify as essential workers. And I know that some of you are nurses on this call, so hats off in front of you guys, because you're doing an amazing job. It's just a great example to show you how you can show and represent things on your planner. So for example, Kirsten just went on, and let me try and use annotate. So if you look at this line on the side here, that's showing that Kirsten is away from home. She's working while Carl is still home with Alex and doing the daily routine. Don't be afraid to be creative with how you want to mark things on your planner. And I know for those of you who have been using a planner for a while, and who have been on some of the workshops that I've done, you know that I like using just vertical lines for those things that affect the day, but they are not defining what's happening. So it's a great way to just mark on the side, which is a good thing for everyone to see that you are not available, or someone in the family is not available. That can be dad who goes to work still. In our household, my partner Tony still goes to work because he's an elevator fitter, so they still qualify as essential workers. But what I was talking to Kirsten this morning is that as much as it has a great description of what's happening, like on the side, there you go, which is fantastic for dad to know what are the main things that need to happen during the day, and which are the categories of the activities that Alex can choose from. It's still a black blurb, And this is why I said about 5 minutes ago that it would worth thinking about colors. And for example, let's say family time and lunchtime could be like I'm not too good at drawing on, on a screen, as you can see, but it could literally be a color. Lunch, breakfast can be a color. And then the AM routine can be a color. Brekkie still qualifies as the same color. The snack time could be again the same color. But then I could have something like blue for the circle, which is in between.
Ildi, are we supposed to be seeing your screen?
Yes.
No, you're not. We just see you.
You should be able to see it. I can. Are you on a PC or are you on a phone? I can see it. This is
I'm on a PC.
Okay. What
Apple
about the other guys on
PC.
a PC? Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I can see the calendar. I'm on a phone.
That's awkward.
I'll pick it up when you do the send the recording.
Probably, because everyone else is seeing it. That's weird. Anyway, just going back, you can see how it actually becomes a little bit of a different, it becomes a bit more colorful. And also, for example, in this case, Alex can pick up that these are the things that are relevant to her, which are all in red. Make sense? Especially
Yes.
when you have little people, it's quite good to have that visual. Everything that is, you know, colored with red is relevant to me, or to her in this case. But also it's, for example, that's yoga, which could be exercise. Let's say exercise is green. So there you go. Or you have the outside play, which again is green. So you can create some very visual, powerful ways for the family to look at the board and have a glance at it and know what's going to happen without really reading into it. Also, I can tell you that with Megan, who is our sticker lady. We've been working with her quite a lot on it. Yes, Rebecca, stickers. We've been working on stickers and they will be readily available probably from next week. We finally ironed out all the last little bit, but she's also kindly started to work on a set of stickers that are literally detachable and you can move them on this laminated board. So she's going to have a couple of good solutions to help you, all of you guys, with stickers around being creative, art, music, yoga, and so on. So it will actually help all of you use these boards a lot more efficiently. But also she's just created an amazing set of different stickers for social media and general activities and so on. So there's a few nice things coming in the next week or so. We've been working, as you can see. Point is that once you color code in a similar way this weekly family planner like you would your normal planner, you will find that things just are much more visual, and for the family it's a lot easier to follow what's happening and who's where and who's meant to do what, and it just becomes so much, it becomes such a beautiful visual tool to keep things on track. So I hope it actually makes sense. And also this meal planner at the bottom, it can really make a difference when it comes to solving that issue of what are we eating tonight, because if it's already decided, it's already there, and there's no comments or issues around it. And I hope that really makes sense. So that's pretty much what I really wanted to share. And I know some of you, for some of you, it's not relevant because you might not have a bigger family around you at this stage, or you might be alone, like I know some of you are. But I definitely think it's just a great tool if you need it. So please don't feel any compulsion to download it and use it if you don't need it. If the planner in your planner is enough, then just stick to that and use it and make the most of that. But I wanted to show you that there's solutions and there's options, not just for your personal planner use, but for something that the whole family can actually use. So in saying that, what else you can do? I just want, I think I need to erase so that you can see what's on the screen. So yes, it was still there. Anyway, so you can still use stickers. You can create easy sign language. Don't forget that, especially if you have to work from home, and I don't know how many of you are in that position, don't forget that you need to work out your family time language. You need to work out some sort of system where everyone in the household knows when you are not available to talk, to chat, to solve issues, and so on. And we were talking with Di this afternoon about this issue, that you can actually create like a semaphore system where red means mom's not available, which is a fabulous way to show the family that you are not accessible and you are not to be disturbed. And of course, the only thing that I need to say about this is that if you are doing it, don't forget that it can't be, you can't be not available for 4 hours. I mean, it would be lovely and it would be amazing if we could hide for 4 hours, but not even I can hide with 2 teenagers in the household for 4 hours. So just saying, make sure that you are changing your sign system to, yes, I'm available for everyone to. So 30 to 40 minutes in a block is probably ideal when it comes to something like this. Write up house rules. If you have lots of people in the house, then it's a great way to get everyone on board. And of course, having it up somewhere where it's visible, it helps with having everyone on board. Then the other thing is involve everyone in the process of planning. Please don't do it yourself. Don't go into the office and don't do it on your own and then stick it on the wall, because you will not have anyone on board with it. Also, what I find that when everyone is involved in the planning, then there's a bigger chance that it will work, and it will help the whole family be on board with it. And of course, delegate. Don't be afraid to use the manpower around the house so that you can free up a little time, so you can work on your business, so you can build some amazing stuff in the background, and so you can prepare and reset for that new start. And of course, make sure that there are consequences. You know, if something goes wrong, it's a good way to actually stick some rules and stick to some rules. And sometimes it's quite fun to actually ask the rest of the family what should be a good consequence be if if something is not done the right way. And again, it's just an amazing opportunity to create new habits and to look at things from a different perspective. It is that big reset that we have a chance to do. So that's pretty much it from me. How can we connect? Please don't forget social media, email, mobile phones, everything. Don't forget that the financial year end planner is ready. What really changed and it's new in End Planner's world is that all the workshops that we do are now online, and they work amazing. So I might even keep them online because it was just such a fabulous platform to connect with everyone. And of course, I do have some amazing stuff in the pipeline. One of them was I've been asked by a gorgeous friend to create a quick, short 45 minutes to an hour workshop for teenagers. especially because they struggle with getting in that headspace of studying, and how do I study, and what do I do, and how do I get on top of my own learning when it's not that directed as it usually is in the classroom, and how do you motivate them, and how do you get them to actually do something. So I'm working on it, and I'm using the brain power of my two teenagers from home to create this little workshop, but I'll be back and I'll let you know. And if you have teens, then you might want to send them towards this workshop, and let's see what happens. And of course, don't forget that there is still an opportunity to book a free 30 minutes phone call if you need a bit of help and you need a bit of different mindset. Workshops, nothing changed. I'm still doing every first Monday of the month the 30-minute Zoom call, just like you see tonight. Of course, the Blueprint to Life Work Harmony is still on, and it is the third Monday of the month. It might be a bit, I might do 2 a month, I don't know, but the third Monday, just as it's set in stone, it's going to happen. Only this time it's not just for those who live in Melbourne, but it's going to be online. And I do think about a 2-day planning workshop, even though that might change into a month or something like that, but we'll see what happens. This was planned to be at the end of June, and I was thinking, well, we'll see what happens. By then we might be back to normal. I don't know, though the way that things are going at the moment, who knows. Anyway, don't forget that the Time Fix program is still there. If you need more help, and if you feel like you want to reset, and you want to look at your own personal self and time management from a different perspective, this is a fast-track intensive step-by-step 12-week program with an amazing 9 months retention program, which is all about helping you stay on top of it and reinforce those new habits and just get where you want to go. So don't forget that this is still available, and it is still available at the old price. And of course, it was the main prize at the bingo. And congratulations to those of you who were on the bingo and played with me for 2 weeks. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had a bit of fun. And that's pretty much it from me tonight. Thank you very much. I will stop the recording, and if you have questions, then please feel free to